You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
Today, Spider-Man No Way Home, the more fun stuff version.
Fun 11 minutes.
Fun in the sun.
11
extra minutes
Was
that
it
made...
in the sun? We were inside.
We were inside, but it was fun.
Fun in the dark.
Fun in the dark. You're right.
Oh.
You're right. I'm wrong.
Nothing
bad.
sus going on. We were
Nothing
watching
like
a movie.
that. We were watching a movie. This was my 5th time seeing Spider-Man No Way Home in theaters.
It's my fourth, which
time.
is a record. I'd never even been 3 times before No Way Home.
Yeah, so
make that 4.
This is definitely for sure my record. I think my previous record was probably Endgame. I saw it 4 times in theaters. So
you saw Endgame 4 times?
I did see Endgame 4 times. So seeing this,
For real?
I beat my record with
Holy
5 times
dude.
in Spider-Man No Way Home. So I'm excited. And of course,
Congratulations.
Thank you, I guess. That may be sad to most people, but I love
like,
the
this
movie.
guy's gonna get a life.
I do need
we
a life.
have a life IRL, guys.
Yeah.
We do this for fun.
We do.
Right?
It's for funsies. All right. But yeah, I just love this movie so much. And to get 11 extra minutes of course, it's more fun stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing of huge significance, nothing that changed the plot.
Yeah.
But just a lot of fun having it. We had a blast watching it. We watched it super late. I think it was like...
Dude, it was 9:25.
We started at 9:25. We got
on
there
a
like
Friday.
12:30.
Yeah, we got there at 12:30. I was like, it was my fault too for being it that late.
That's all right though. We had a good time. We laughed a ton.
Dude, we had a great time.
We clapped.
The people behind us in front of us probably hated us.
They probably did, but they
was
saw the
yelling
movie,
so loud and talking.
we were
not like
whisper yelling.
Yeah,
we were whisper yelling.
having a good time.
We were hyped. We were having a good time. We weren't being disruptive. We're not like that.
Yeah, we're not like that. Clearly,
but we have to improve the theater experience for other people, right?
Facts. Exactly.
I mean,
I know. We got to bring the energy so they can match it.
Exactly.
We got to start it.
Exactly. So here's, without further ado, what you guys have been talking about. So if you haven't seen this version, feel free to stay because there's nothing really spoiler heavy. And you probably won't be able to see it anymore in theaters anyway.
Yeah.
So
is that the first time we've ever said that? Like, keep on listening if you haven't seen it.
There's no really spoilers, no really stakes.
Take
so
advantage.
Just keep on listening. Yeah, because
take advantage of that.
Honestly,
you're not going to hear that much.
You're probably not going to be able to see this movie.
Yeah, it came out for 2 days,
so
right? Just
we'll
that Thursday and Friday, I think.
I think it was
last weekend.
I think it was on a Saturday.
Saturday too.
I think it did on
just
Saturday
a full
too.
weekend then.
It was probably just the weekend, but so if you guys didn't get the chance to see it, we're going to break it down for you guys here. So. It started off with, of course, a different intro. And of course, the intro was Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield thanking us fans for the support of this movie. Obviously, well deserved. I love seeing their faces.
I was like, you're welcome. What else can I say?
You're welcome.
I mean, I came to the theater. I don't feel like I did that much, but
I didn't either. I get my tickets for free, so I didn't do too much.
Exactly.
But they did thank us, and they also did something super fun for Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland, of course, thanked him or said they loved him.
They loved him.
They said they love you because they never did in the movie. Which was fantastic.
They just like nod at him.
Andrew Garfield's like, it's about time. Thank you.
That was cool to see all of them like on a Zoom call.
It was, and it was super fun to see that. I just wish we would have got them like all in person, sitting together, like an interview, something like that. But it was still cool nonetheless to see them all together. And of course, we did in this movie, so that was fun. All right, so of course, the Spider-Man No Way Home More Fun Stuff version was mostly funny. I mean, it just added funny scenes, really.
Yeah.
I understand why they cut the scenes that they cut. That they added.
Of course.
I understand. Even the extra dialogue between the Spider-Man, I get why they cut it. I wish they would have kept that part in, but at the same time, I understand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was freaking hilarious, and most of the stuff was pretty good. But like in the overall, theme of the movie, it just didn't make sense. Like John Watts with this movie, he like moves from shot to shot like really fast, especially in the first half. It's like a minute, just like moving and moving and moving. And a lot of these extra scenes just like really like I feel like drag some scenes out. Right. And that was very uncharacteristic of the rest of the movie.
Because there's this one scene, like the interview scene with Betty Brant. That went on forever.
It was like 2 or 2.5 minutes.
It went forever.
It
and I was like, oh my goodness, this was just actors having fun. And of course, it was a super funny scene.
I swear they're improv, dude.
I think some of that had to have been improv. Shout out to Betty Brant because I think she had the most screen time in the extra 11 minutes.
I wasn't expecting that, but it wasn't bad.
No, it was funny. Just her interviewing the people. We got some extra J. Jonah Jameson scenes of him being funny and like making advertisements and stuff like that.
Once again.
That was funny. And then, of course, we got a Harry Hollins, of course, Tom Holland's brother. He got cut from the original movie, but it was added back into this version.
I think like that's one of the scenes that could have stayed.
I think that
in there,
stayed.
to be honest.
Yeah, it was funny.
It wasn't necessary, but it fit with. It
did.
It just showed him, even though he was being persecuted at that moment for being Spider-Man after just come out. he still took the time to stop somebody.
Yes,
like
he
that
did.
just shows who his character
It was
is.
cool. And it was also super funny when all the people were like, hey, you too young to be doing that. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing here, Spider-Man? What are you doing? He ain't too young.
He's like, he's 17. No one's, he's like, he's 14. He's like, I'm not 14.
I'm not 14. What do you
Something
mean?
like
That was so funny. And even Harry Holland, his character was like, yeah, let me go. It's funny. It was a funny scene. So I did enjoy that part. And then the one scene, though, that I did think they should have kept was the extra Daredevil, or I should say, Charlie Cox's scene in the courtroom with Happy.
Yeah.
I think they should have kept that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that really changed anything. I think that added more comedy and, allowed to see more of Matt.
And it
Murdock.
definitely added to the seriousness of the legality. If you've listened to our full movie review, which is, obviously out for a while,
Right.
Shameless plug. One of my bigger gripes about the movie is I feel like they didn't address the legal side, of mysterious accusations enough, frankly. And they introduced Daredevil, but we don't see him in a court of law.
Yeah.
We don't see him with a board, with a judge, or anything.
That's the one problem with that is I understand why they didn't add that, because there wouldn't have been enough time for what they wanted to do with like the other villains and the other Spider-Man and the whole idea of, Doctor Strange erasing the minds of everybody of what happened. So I understand that part, and there wasn't really enough time for that, but I would have liked to have seen that. But just getting this extra Matt Murdock scene with Happy Hogan, and then of course Happy looking at his phone and seeing all the people go into his apartment.
It was a great transition. But
It
it
was.
was really refreshing to see Happy and Daredevil, in a law setting.
It was, and I enjoy. And of course, pays back earlier because he catches the brick, says I'm a good lawyer. Happy says, what am I going to do? And he's like, you need a good lawyer. And then of course he hires him. So that was great.
That's super cool.
That was really good. So I enjoyed that part. And then of course, right after that, we get the funny elevator scene. Of course, there was no dialogue. It's just seeing them, the weird group of people riding the elevator together up, which was super funny.
I've been very weirded out. If I was waiting for the elevator and they stepped out without saying a word, I'd be like,
I mean,
dude, what the
if I
crap
see a
is
guy
this?
with tentacles and a man made of full sand, I'd be freaking out a little bit. I don't
honestly,
know about you, but
I probably would. I think the tentacles would be like, ooh.
it's like, what you? I mean, knowing Marvel though, if somebody would have opened the door,
They'd be like, what those do?
no, they'd be like, what you got going on, man? It's like it wouldn't phase them.
Yeah, they'd be like, I don't know.
But
They'd
it is
probably throw in
Sony,
the
so
swim trunks if they saw Sandman.
very factual. So I don't know, but that was funny. I just wish we
Marvel.
would have got. Honestly though, I wish we would have got more lizard scenes. If I'm being blatantly
didn't.
honest, because
Especially the Doctor Strange versus Lizard scene.
dude,
Why?
I told you.
I feel
was
like we should have gotten that.
and they never filmed it apparently, but
They never filmed. Well, I mean, I understand, right? Doctor Strange is not a main character, and
Right,
neither
right.
is Lizard. In fact,
Right.
Lizard has the least screen time out of all the villains in the movie, right? I think Sandman has more than him.
You think Sandman has a little bit more?
Yeah,
Probably.
remember, he's in the fight, at
He probably
least.
does have a little bit more than him.
But I don't know. Just maybe seeing just like 30 seconds or a clip of Doctor Strange, getting an alert, investigating it, a quick maybe battle. I don't know.
I would have enjoyed
Would've been
that.
cool.
Yeah, I completely
But
agree.
if they
Plus,
never filmed it, they never.
the
filmed
Lizard
it.
is just the funniest and the best character. I mean, obviously, I believe that we all should have a great makeover. I
No,
can
we
give
should
you a
all
better-
become the better version.
the better
of
version of
ourselves.
ourselves than
Yeah.
lizards, and not have a comb over
We
anymore.
could
if you know what
change.
I'm
We could
saying.
change the city, Michael, for good.
We can change the city for good.
We're the villains for Amazing Spider-Man 3 now.
We're the villains
We've
for
been
Amazing Spider-Man.
brainwashed by
Oh
the
my
lizards.
goodness. Love the lizard, but I would have enjoyed that. And then of course we did, there was a huge break where there was no extra scenes, and then of course we get to the other Spider-Man, to where they come in, and then when they're on, they're waiting for the villains to come to the Statue of Liberty and discussing their options. We get a whole ton of more dialogue from them, and I honestly do think that they should have kept this scene in, even though it prolonged the scene. It still was nice to hear more from the other Spider-Man and let them interact a little bit more than we did in the movie, and get more chemistry and stuff of that nature, like Andrew Garfield asking to see the holes of Tobey Maguire's
That was
web.
so sus.
That was funny.
He's like, can I see the holes? it was hilarious, but Michael, I didn't think it added too much. To be honest,
Really?
I think I preferred the shorter version because, like you said, the whole movie, was just short scene, short scene.
Yeah.
And leading up to this, right? Remember, there was a huge break. So finally throwing in that extra content, it felt like very jarring to see that. Maybe if they had spaced it better through that second, act of the movie, I feel like it might have been a little better. But to be honest, I didn't feel like that part added too much, even though I thought it was hilarious and loved getting to see it. But that was another one of my little gripes. I just wish that they had spread out their extra scenes.
Which I understand that, but at the same time, I really love seeing the more chemistry between them and just getting that extra, it was comedic, but yet getting them, see this brotherly bond because, they may not known each other before this, but yet they're the same person. So it's cool to see that interactions even more. And I can't remember every single piece of dialogue that was extra besides the holes. But I'm trying to think of what other piece of dialogue. Of course, I know they were talking like some other stuff about like their villains and stuff. They had a little bit extra stuff in there, but it was just cool to see more, especially between Maguire and Garfield. Yeah, Garfield. Just seeing them two interact was super awesome, and of course, I loved that. So that was nice. And then other than that, I can't think of any other scene. I was surprised. I figured they would add a little bit more than that, but at the same time, I have to realize it is called the more fun stuff version. They're not going to add anything that's super detrimental to the plot because they would have kept that in the movie. And this was all deleted scenes that were just added into make an extended version. Yeah. And most of them were understandably deleted. So, and just getting that extra fun scenes and then just getting able to see this masterpiece of a movie again was really nice for me personally. Yeah.
Anyway. Let me ask you, what was your favorite scene that they put in?
The favorite additional scene?
Was it that Spider-Man scene?
I think, honestly, though, it was probably the Daredevil scene. Just getting a little bit extra. It was. I mean, just getting that little extra bit of Daredevil and that it made complete sense of staying in the movie. I don't know why they cut it. Yeah. I think just that part in general was my favorite.
All right. I'm honestly surprised to hear you say that. Yeah, I thought you were going to say the Spider-Man.
I love the Spider-Man scene. That was probably a close second, but
I gotta say, dude, my favorite was honestly the Betty interviews.
You loved that part.
That was hilarious. Like I said, it was long and stuff, but we had she interviewed like 4, 5, 6 different people.
She interviewed in that span. Ned, and that was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Well, I mean, that was cool because at least obviously it didn't fit. That scene felt the most forced,
right? It did.
There. But at the same time, it was cool to see the fellow teachers and students' perspectives because we didn't get to see too much of that in the movie. Right. He's in school and then he's not, and then we don't hear anything about his actions. But here in the school, the teachers are like, well, here's what happened, and then the students are like, well, here's what I think, and then we get to see him, like crawling up a wall. I think it's cool,
the differentiation between the three teachers that they had. You had the one who's very supportive of him, the one who's kind of like neutral, and then the other one's like full on, you kill Mysterio, you dummy, I hate you, and that was hilarious, and I enjoyed seeing that. But then again, of course, you see him in an extended scene, the gym coach who said that he did not like him, asked him to climb the wall for everybody.
That was cool. I actually really liked that part.
Yeah,
too.
That was fun.
To be honest, dude, if I'm the gym coach and I found out that my student is Spider-Man, dude, I am making him do that things. Yeah,
I want to see you lift some stuff. I want to see climb some stuff. Yeah,
I want to see you climb.
I agree. I see do some stuff. I know. I completely,
you know what I'm saying? All right.
And we did get some more hallway scenes, of course, of him walking through the hallways and the people staring at him and him climbing up and around, and that was funny. I mean, I completely understand. I'm glad that they did cut what they did, but at the same time, I do appreciate seeing those scenes and them allowing us to see those scenes anyway. Of course. And then, of course, the only other added scene was the end credit. I'm glad that they added the end credit because I was a little bit nervous that they were going to just replay the Doctor Strange trailer,
like, dude,
which wouldn't make sense.
What is this movie? I don't know. I remember when we first watched Spider-Man, dude. I was so hyped when that came on.
So hyped.
I think the third time I watched it just so I could see that trailer again. Honestly, not just, but I was trying to, because that was before it came out.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want every single detail in my mind.
And it was a great trailer.
And then it was mid.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately.
Yeah, they did have something new.
It did. They did have and they just added like the cafeteria part was like, don't slip or whatever. Which
the one
funny.
Kid like runs over.
Yeah. He's like, oh no!
Slaps his
and they're just like laughably bad actors on purpose, and it was great. I love when people do that. Yes. I love when good actors act like the bad actors.
Steve Carell, I swear, is the best at that, dude.
Yeah, it's a hard skill.
I know, dude.
It's super hard
when
to do
you're
that.
that good, you're trying to be something you're not.
Exactly.
I mean, which is obviously the point of acting, but you're trying to be good at being someone you're not.
Right.
You're trying to be someone you're not who's bad at it. Right, if you're a good actor who's I forgot what
I mean. You're trying to be good at something you're supposed to be. Wait,
you're being good at some. Dude, wait, hear me out.
This
man.
Is messing.
All right, well, all right. So this character is doing a good job of playing this character
Who's supposed to be doing a bad job.
Who's supposed to be doing a bad job.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
That's the words.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Y'all understand.
That was, I feel like that wasn't as complicated as we were trying to.
It was completely not. But yeah, I mean, of course, again, it's just the more fun stuff version. We're glad to see it again. Glad to break it down.
Yeah.
Glad because that was probably the last time we'll ever see it in theaters again.
Theaters. So let me ask real quick before we stop. Why do you think they released it then?
Money. I mean, it all comes down to money.
Just all money.
It all comes down to money. Plus, I mean, the factors of the reception that Spider-Man: No Way Home got was really, really well.
Yeah.
It was a huge movie, the biggest movie of 2021 for sure.
Yeah.
So
it's like top 6, 7.
It's top 6 for sure of all time. So that's cool in itself to see that. So just for sure, it all comes down to money. Of course, they'll say we just want to say thank you by giving us extra stuff, but it comes down to money.
I wish, dude. Honestly, I was kind of surprised that this film didn't make more of the weekend. Last time I checked, I think it made around $5 million. Yeah, I really thought it would do better.
Honestly, knowing like, the diehard Marvel fans would have gone to see it, and I mean, I don't know anybody personally that's gone to see it. But I don't know. Actually, it is still playing in theaters.
Really?
The more fun stuff version.
For real?
It's still playing in theaters.
No way.
It is.
All right, they must
there's like 5 showings.
Made an executive decision because when they announced it, it was initially just at weekend.
It's still showing this Saturday too.
We
so
made money.
If you guys want to go see it, I might see it again. I don't know. We'll see.
My friend's like, nerd. You saw it again.
I'm a cool nerd. Anyway, that pretty much concludes the more fun stuff version. And I will say, it was a lot of fun.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast, Here's in the Moment, is available on all major podcast platforms. So check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, on Amazon Music, on Deezer. We're all on there, so find us. If you want to keep up with our episodes, know when we're dropping, go ahead and check out our Insta, Here's in the Moment, and our TikTok, Here's in the Moment, with an extra T.
With an extra T.
As far as our announcements and upcoming episodes go, let's see. On Saturday, we're releasing our She-Hulk episode 4 breakdown.
Episode 4.
After that, we'll be almost halfway done with the show. So hopefully, I'm hoping things start to ramp up a little bit.
I do.
And I think this episode will definitely change. We're hearing a lot of good things about it. Fingers crossed, that's coming out 5 a.m. Saturday. Stay tuned. And then our big podcast, it's going to be a long one.
Huge.
I'm telling you up now. Is our D23 breakdown.
Yes.
Coming out Tuesday at 5 a.m.
Tuesday, we're going to be breaking down all the good stuff. All right, guys, we just want to thank you all for listening. And as always, we love you 3000.